This is Stu. Just thought I'd do a little mini update on my builds and how I'm progressing. As you can see, I've got back on the Tiger. Reason being is because my Mojo is absolutely fully charged and I've got some holiday coming up. So I'm looking forward to that. And obviously with the way the AS90 is going, my Mojo is in full swing. Now, admittedly, I was going to leave the Tiger until the AS90 was done, but I'm going to have a crack at doing both at the same time, especially as I've got some spare time coming up soon. Anyway, I've done a lot of repairs on this Tiger because unfortunately, as you know, I dropped her, had an accident, and then she ended up on the shelf of doom. So let's just run through it for you. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit more. So if I pan in, bear with me. Here we go. Right. Just up here, you can see a little white patch. There were a couple of holes there. What they were for, I don't know. I decided to fill them in. So I've used some Tipp-Ex that side, and I've got some the other side that you can see there. And I'll be finished sanding that off in due course. The next thing I did was to, if I move the camera up again, here we go, is replace some of the missing track links that you've got on there. And if you notice, this one here has been replaced. The other two on the other side, which were slightly bent, I managed to take them off and reposition them, so they are all lined up, which is good. And then if we move along here, I'm just going to move the camera down a little bit again. There we go. I've actually replaced some of the missing tool clamps on here by the tow ropes, and also that one there, and then that one there. Now admittedly that one's a little bit longer, but to be honest with you, I didn't have any more of these and it would have meant cannibalizing one of my Tigers in my Tiger station. I didn't want to have to do that. This was basically taken off my old Cyber Hobby Tiger that I took part in the Mike and Tribute build last year, because as you know, some of the Dragon kits are bounty of spare parts are left over once you finish the build, so these came in handy. And also, if you also notice, I've got a new gun cradle on the back. Now the original one got smashed to smithereens, and it was only by chance I was going through my stash the other night on my Tigers that I noticed Tamiya had two of these in the kit, so I thought, great, this will fit nicely, and it did. So that's that replaced. The jack has been repaired because this handle here had snapped off, and also if I move it down, this rear mudguard was basically hanging off. Now I've managed to reposition that and get that repaired, so that's sitting there nicely alongside the other one, which is aligned nicely. And then finally, well, penultimately, move it up again. Sorry about this, guys. If you notice this little white patch here, I've put some filler in there because unfortunately the fuel cap has gone missing. It went flying off when I dropped it. I have tried looking through all my other Tiger stash to see if there's any spares on that. Regretfully not. So I'm afraid that's how it's going to stay. Now I know you rivet counters out there will be going, oh, you should put the proper pull cap in there, should send off for it. And I thought, well, you know, with the time I've had having this aside, I just can't be buggered to do that anymore. So it is what it is, guys. Okay. And then finally, if I pan back, come on, it's a bit like tomorrow's world demonstration doesn't always work. Here we go. I've basically replaced the radio aerial on here again because that snapped off as well. But there's one more thing I'm going to point out and let you know about this build. I'm going to have to change the name of this build, unfortunately. Reason being is because, according to Dragon, the kit that's depicted, which I was going to build of this Tiger 331, which you see here, which supposedly is the one of Thomas Amsel-Gruber, well, it turns out it actually isn't. It was actually driven by and commanded by another well-known tank ace during the Normandy campaign. And the reason I know this is because, if I pan this camera down slightly, a book which Mike Cohen actually reviewed, I think about 6 to 8 months ago on his channel Cohen C. This one here, Tiger One in Action, 1942 to 1945, is like the encyclopedia of Tiger Ones. I'm not kidding you, it's a plethora of information. It's got fantastic photographs in there, and it's a valuable reference source for me, I can tell you. And it's written by Gene Restain. I actually managed to source this off of Amazon, or you can possibly source it off of eBay, so look out for this one, guys. Heartily recommend you get this book. If you want to see what this book is like, go over to Mike's channel, Cohen C. He's actually done a review of this book, and it's a superb one, so it's well worth the money. It is expensive, but it's worth the money, I can assure you. Anyway, my point entirely is this. During the course of looking through this book, which I was sourcing for another possible future Tiger project, if you will bear with me, I'll just come across the actual photograph concerned. And we are nearly there. Ah, here we go. Let's move it up again. Okay. Oops, here we go. That's right, I'm getting used to this new tripod. Okay. This, as we well know, is my reference photo for the tiger that I'm going to depict this one as. It turns out this actual tiger was commanded by SS Junker Erwin Asbach, not Thomas Amselgruber. So, Dragon, I know you used 2 experts for your research. I think on this occasion you didn't bother. You should have, because basically the person that you've depicted this tiger in is incorrect, and it's highly embarrassing for me because I've named it under the person who didn't even drive this or command this tiger. So Dragon, please ensure you get your research right. Anyway, rant over. Now, that's as far as she's going on the build so far, but as I say, I shall be sort of interloping in between the 2 builds over the next few weeks and months. The AS90 is coming on really well as well, so I'm just going to go and put this tiger back in a safe place. She's going to go back on the shelf up here for the time being, so she doesn't get broken. Right, that's that. And this is how the AS90 is progressing now. She's now re-primed after I've actually put all the stowage on and cleaned up all the glue runs and sanded them. I did miss out this pack here, so I managed to just put that on this morning, and that's sitting nicely now. So she's fully equipped with all her stowage and ready for her base coats now. The only thing is, I'm not going to put the base coats on today. I put the primer on this morning, and I wanted to let it dry out thoroughly for the next 24 hours before I do so. Okay, so as you can see, she's looking really good. I'm thoroughly enjoying this project. My mojo is back in full swing, as you can see, what with 2 projects on the go now. So that's how we are, and that's how we're doing so far with the state of the builds at the moment. So anyway, enough waffling from me. That's it for now, guys. So until the next time. Oh, actually, I nearly forgot to mention something, so I'm not going to finish. I just want to mention Josh at Smooth Shots. He very kindly sent me a fantastic tripod for this camera, so from now on in, you're not going to get shaky camera shots. And this was a suggestion of somebody who left a comment. Now, I do apologise for not remembering your name. I will mention your name in my next forthcoming monthly update, so I do apologise. But the person concerned actually sent me a link and made a comment that, you know, my camera is too shaky. So I thought, well, I've got to rectify this after nearly 18 months. and he managed to send me a link, so I'm very, very grateful to you, my friend. And then I ended up actually going through to a company called Smoothshot, and I have to say this service is second to none. The original one which I was sourced by the other person concerned, when they actually went to pack it, it actually had a fault on it, and they were kind enough to send me an email. So needless to say, they offered me an alternative, which they said was more expensive, but they didn't charge me any extra for it. So I want to say to Josh at Smoothshot, thank you very much. Excellent service, and believe it or not, it arrived the very next day. Awesome. So I would recommend that you get in touch with them, specifically a young gentleman by the name of Josh at Smoothshot. Okay, he's a good for, you know, all camera supplies, etc. Service is absolutely second to none. So thank you very much, Josh. Anyway, that's enough of me waffling on now. So until next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon.